Okay, you ready for the finale? You ready for the dismount? You've been going through all these parts. This is part 5 of a 5-part series, hopefully. I'm going to try to go as fast as possible. We're done with the Emerald tablets for now. You got the links. Keep reconning that. Here's where I'm going to make my dismount from the Thoth to Hootie situation. And then we'll get into some smooth perspectives, some hasten his coming, and we'll make our dismount from there. Man, I love y'all. Thanks for vibing, you know what I'm saying? This might be like a series of days for you, but this has been one day. I did all these parts in one day. So I don't know, it's 8 or 10 hours, man, of just drop. But that's why I took like 3 days off, because I had to rest. Because I don't like to keep it in. I like to get it all out. I don't want to hold this drop. I don't want to sleep with it. I want to release it. I don't want it in me. I want it in you, right? So I treat every drop like it's my final drop. And I'm not going to be here. I'm letting you know ahead of time. I was on Facebook for a little bit of time. They started, clamping in on the info. Everybody knows. The melanated True Earth plane, no. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted my government identification. I said, peace. I started, continuing to push it through 432 to drop. And then, started coming, doing the face-to-face thing, just recently, like about a month and a half ago. So when you look on these YouTubes, I've only been face-to-face with you for about, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that. Other than that, we did the radio thing for over a year. I just tried to keep it real, low pro on it. But, I got to see you. So, all right, we're just going to breeze through a couple sites that kind of gives us, their interpretation of this Thoth, this Tahuti, right? So I don't want you to think that, I'm just, it's just conjecture. I'm just putting things, all over the place. So you can have it yourself. These links are there for you. This site is called ancientegyptonline.co.uk. All right, so let's check this joint out right quick. You can get it on your screen. You can pause it, and you can read it. Thoth, it says Tahuti, Dehuti, Jehuti, Tehuti, Zehuti, Tehu, Tetu, Tetu. These are all different names for the same energy, the same ascended master who put you in this 440 hertz, you know what I'm saying? These pyramids, this grid, Egypt. Go back to parts 1 through 4 if you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm tired. Here's where I make my dismount. It says Thoth was one of the earlier Egyptian gods, so he was at the beginning of this thing, right? He had to drop when it came to this Egypt, right? He was popular throughout Egypt, but was particularly venerated in Khnum, Khnum. Is that the same Khem? Kemet? Khnum, Khnum. They say Hermopolis Magna. Hermopolis Magna. Now we're getting to this Greek stuff, right? So that's what they wanted to be called, Hermopolis Magna, whatever. Remember, he's Hermes. In the Greek mythology, Thoth is Hermes. So they're calling it Hermopolis, all right? Where he was worshipped as part of the Ogdoad, Ogdoad, Og. As the power of his cult grew, the myth was rewritten to make Thoth the creator god. So now when we read the tablets, he's like, I'm going to come back and do this, and I'm going to come back and do that, right? So they're saying that the myth was written to make it look like he's more of a creator god, make him more powerful. According to this variant, Thoth, in the form of Ibis, I-B-I-S, one of his sacred animals, laid an egg. Neil deGrasse Tyson, the earth looks like an egg. They're worshiping this egg. Easter, Ishtar, right? Ramesses, all that stuff. Laid an egg from which Ra, R-A, Ra, also known as Atum, or Nefertum, or Khepri, Khepri, just like Khem, Khapri, was born. So Ra, Atum, Nefertum, Khepri was born. So again, Thoth In the form of Ibis, one of his sacred animals, laid an egg from which Ra, Atum, was born. Other myths suggest that Thoth created himself through the power of language. Interesting. Sound. Language. Sound. But it was rewritten to make him look like the creator God, so really the creator, they're just validating that sound itself, his word itself, is what makes this whole thing, tick tock, you know what I'm saying? Vibrate all the way up to his throne. All right, so that's all I kind of want to get from that. Well, let's get this part. Other myths suggest that Thoth created himself through the power of language, an interesting parallel to the phrase in the gospel, according to St. John, in the beginning was the word. So we're ahead of this. We just said that, literally. So in the beginning was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God, and the word was God, right? So that's the word. So he's saying Thoth created himself through the power of language. Really, he was created through the power of language. He was created through sound itself. That's why disorder still has to get in line with order, because they can't go against the initial vibration that they were created in. That's why they have to teach that chaos started it all. It was a big bang, because when you say it was started by a sound, a spark, you say, well, what sparked the Big Bang? What was the spark? Was the spark an accidental fart of gas in the universe? Or was it a sound by design to form the formless and even the chaos, even the static? All right, so his song was thought to have created 8 deities of the Ogdiad, the gods Num, He, Kuk, Amun, and the goddesses Nunet, Hawet, Quaket, and Amunet. So y'all know how to pronounce this better than me, man. All right, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. His song was thought to have created it. His sound, his vibration. It's all a song, man. It's all a musical, man. You're in the best show on earth. You're in a musical. Sound vibration above, sound vibration here, sound. Tesla told you, break it down into energy, frequency, vibration. We understand sound. We understand frequency. We understand why they tuned your sound, your MP3s, to a disharmonic frequency. More importantly, the same damn frequency that kept you enslaved from eons ago. The same 440 distortion. The sun itself has a sound, right? It sings. You know what I'm saying? That's what gets the vibration going, right? Joshua told the sun to be still. He said, "Stop singing. I need you here to finish this battle. I need you." And that's where that picks up. All right. The moon and the sun were initially thought of as left and right eyes of Horus. The moon, left eye, right eye, Horus. Is that right? According to legend, Horus's left eye, the moon. Okay, so the moon, left eye, was injured and a fight was set. So if the left eye had a fight with the right eye, or Horus and Set, and was restored by Thoth, the eye of Horus. However, as time progressed, the moon came to be associated with Thoth, possibly because the crescent moon resembled the beak of an ibis. Right? What does the beak of an ibis look like? Can you see that? All right. That's the ibis. And that's the beak of the ibis. Hopefully you can see that. All right. So that's the crescent moon situation. That breaks down into many names as well. All right. On to the next one. Let's go to this site. This is called allpeace.blogspot.com. Pull this joint up. Let's see what they have to say. I'm just going through random sites, different places, different, I'm trying to substantiate this information, take different sources. I'm not trying to close my mind, right? I'm trying to see what people got to say about Thoth. We just read what he said about himself in the Emerald Tablets. Are they substantiating it? We know what the Greek mythology is about it, right? Are they substantiating it? He says, I am Thoth. He says, as the closest planet to the sun, Mercury is expected to unite the Father with the Father during the forthcoming changes. You see? I know some of y'all got that right away. So this side is saying as the closest planet to the sun, right? Sun worship. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. Thoth is the closest planet to their illuminated. They're not talking about, they're saying it like, your sun and Mercury and all this kind of stuff. Man, that stuff these are all angels. All right, but your sun, all right, is in order. All right, your moon is in order. These angels are wandering stars. Do they revolve around the sun? They revolve around the sun. They revolve around you. Do you revolve around the sun? No. That means you have order over them. They revolve around you. All praise hey. That's why they can't get the eye off you. That's why they got to keep jamming you up to the very end. Which appear, so as the closest planet to the sun, Mercury is expected to unite with the Father during the forthcoming changes. So Thoth said he coming back. Thoth said, man, I'm going to reunite. Going to do this, do this. This is all underworld talk. He ain't talking about uniting with Heya above the throne. He's talking about his daddy. Thutmi, whatever his name is. Thutme. You know what I'm saying? You can call it Poseidon. You can call it, Zeus. You can call it whatever they're doing. I don't know. But they're reuniting for one more dance. One more song and dance, right? Which appear to center upon but include not only Earth's transition to the fifth dimension, 432, you know what I'm saying, our shift. So they're saying that this appears to center upon but not include only the Earth's transition to the fifth dimension, not only Earth's transition, this which would appear to center upon but include not only Earth transition to the fifth dimension. So again, it's going to sound like madness, but we're getting the babies out. As Roman god of many talents, all of which deal with various aspects of writing. Remember, he's the god of writing and magic and all these things, speaking and learning. You don't need reading and writing if you're on your level. If we're on our level, we don't need to read and write. You only need to read and write when you can't communicate at a higher vibration. Then you communicate like the beast. And that's when your reading and writing systems pick up. So it's very inaccurate to try to look at a system and say, if they don't have any reading and writing, they must be of a lower class, right? Didn't they do this to you when they found you and said, hey, it must be this? And they said, oh, but these melanated people got all this reading and writing and artifacts. And you say, yeah, that's me. I'm Egypt. Fallen angel technology, fallen angel communication, fallen angel reading and writing. They were teaching what they knew from above, but they only knew so much from above. So they mixed it and twisted it. All right? They twisted it to rule you. They twisted your vibration to rule you. They gave you some truth with a lot of distortion. And now we're finally seeing the opening of it all, the chink in the armor. We understand it's not opening up above a certain vibration. And that's why certain brothers and sisters and people are staying at a certain vibration, because that's where their energy source is. They have to disconnect. You have to disconnect and leave Babylon. Leave the energy of Babylon. And the energy that, go back to from parts 1 through 4, has hijacked you. All right, so it says, this Thoth is Mercury, and as the Roman god of many talents, all of which deal with various aspects of writing, speaking, learning, commerce, and message giving, and as the Greek Hermes, Mercury is the messenger of the gods. So he's the messenger. He's the one that's going to unite with the dweller, right? His father, right? Satan himself, Lucifer itself, whatever. Mercury is the messenger of them all, right? He's the messenger. He comes with the message. He says, obey my commands or I'm going to get you. I'm the messenger of the gods. Above all, Mercury is a great orator and teacher, the transmitter of the spiritual to the material. The spiritual to the material. Pyramids were created in a spiritual realm, transmitted into material realm. All that done in the celestial, those heavens, not the higher heavens above the firmament, where they run like hell from the beast of the barrier. Mercury rules Gemini, the twins, so it goes. All right, so next one, on to the next. Let's check out Wikipedia. Why not? Let's look at Wikipedia. It's, when we type in, Thutmoses. What does it tell us about Thutmoses, right? What does it tell us about Thutmoses? What does he look like? Who's Thutmoses III, who started the 18th dynasty in the land of Kemet? But they were not Cometian. They were Atlantean. They were fallen angel Nephilim. They considered the people of Kemet barbarians. That's what it says in his own writings in Tablet 1. We came at them with spears. You came at them with spears. They put a vibration on you. And they said these people groveled at their feet. What are you doing today? You see the pyramid on the back of the dollar. You're groveling at the feet of money. You need it, right? You need money. You need that pyramid and you need that frequency. No, you don't. It's an illusion of seclusion. We work together. We don't need it. We didn't need it. Regain your freedom. Take it back. Thutmoses III, sometimes read as Thutmoses or Thutmoses III, Thothmes in older books, and meaning Thoth is born. Thutmoses is meaning Thoth is born. Thoth is born. Thoth is born. This is Wikipedia. Hey, I'm not just taking their word for it, right? We're going from source to source. We're building the frequency brick by brick. I just read much of the Emerald Tablets. I read the entire Tablet 1 and Tablet 8 to you, just to make sure we have some substantiating stuff here. And again, we're on a hypothesis. We're on a journey. We're surfing a wave. This is magnificent. The energy is magnificent. You are magnificent. So they're saying, right here in Wikipedia, Thutmoses III means Thoth is born. The same person, right? Okay. Again, he has reincarnated through space-time cycles. He said over 1,000 times. So he may come like this in this body, right? But we know his energy, where it comes from, the celestial, underneath the firmament, Nephilim. Okay. During yes, that's all I want to take from here. I'll leave all this up for you because I don't want to do a part 6. You know me, I'll start reading like crazy. Anyway, Thutmoses III, according to Wikipedia, means Thoth is born. He was the 6th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. And being the 6th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty really means that the 18th dynasty started here in America. And then once Atlantis was sunk and Thoth said he hopped in the ship, went to the barbarians to the land of Kim, which was Kemet, and that's when he built the great pyramid, and he said he built it in a higher vibration and lowered it down here, and he built it from the top to the bottom, which is why the stones on top are older than the stones on the bottom. Now it says he's the 6th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, so that means the first 5 pharaohs must have went down in Atlantis. Or the 5th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty was the last pharaoh when Atlantis was sunk by what appears to be this particular connection, right? Of the 18th dynasty. During the 22 years of Thutmoses' reign, he was co-regent with his stepmother and aunt Hatshepsut. This is very interesting because she has many names too, and we'll see how that correlates. And aunt, right? So he was so here you got this person. Now you got someone who appears to be having relations with, some stepmother and aunt. And that's Hatshepsut, who was named the pharaoh. So she became pharaoh. While he was shown first on surviving monuments, both were assigned the usual royal names and insignia, and neither is given any obvious seniority over the other. So remember, this is duality. A lot of times they had both energies, right? Male and female energies. That's why some people be getting all Kemet in the homosexuality thing, because it wasn't a law against it. It wasn't like, if we catch you, you die, like we were rocking with. That's why we are against that. We consider that unnatural because we consider that unnatural to the law above the firmament. But hey, under the firmament, anything goes. We can rationalize it all. Do you, all that. Everyone deserves this. Everybody deserves rights. No, nobody got rights. It's only the Creator's rights. And in them, in order, you got the right to it all. Either you play for keeps or you ain't playing at all. All right. So that's Hatshepsut and all this kind of stuff. So let's keep going. All right. So that's 3 sources. We're just trying to catch up here. Now we're going to go to a site called heartstar.org. I don't know it. I just want to see what they got to say about Thoth. All right. Here's where it gets real fun. So it says in the Celtic tradition, pull up this site. So you got it. Pull up this site. The link is for you. Heartstar.org. Now we got the Celtics and Druids and how this is correlating with this. I'm trying to be real fast. Real fast. All right, let's see. In the Celtic tradition, beech, B-E-E-C-H, is associated with the bluebird, the color light blue. The gods Ogma, Soonface, Odin, and Thoth, who's Hermes Mercury, and the goddess Seshat, which is the same. That's the same stepmother and aunt, Hatshepsut. Hatshepsut is now who they're calling here Sheshet, right? Same person. So this blue thing, you see the gods of India are blue. These guys are blue, 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 blue. Blue is still melanin, but it's some other, remix of it. You know what I'm saying? They appear to be blue. Avatar, right? So they put it right in your face, right? So Odin was blue. This Ogma, sun face, is blue. Thoth, who is Hermes, Mercury, blue. Just pause it, read that second paragraph. That's where I'm at. Get that? We're going fast. And the goddess is shut. Alright, so in the Celtic tradition, beech, B-E-E-C-H, is associated with the bluebird, the color light blue. The gods Ogma, Sunface, Odin, Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, and the goddess Sheshat. For information about Ashtar, who incarnated on earth as Thoth, and Hermes, who is Hermes. Trismegistus, which we, covered the Magna. That's the Greek shit. So Hermes, Thoth, same person. So this saying Ashtar incarnated on earth as Thoth, right? So you got Ashtar. This Ashtar Federation. William Mount got a lot of money dropped, but he always talking about these Ashtar because he's still worshiping fallen angels. He just doesn't, I don't know. A lot of people don't understand it, but they're going to have a chance to choose up. It's coming sooner than later. Ashtar, Ashrith, Ashrah, right? You got Lex Will dropped how the moon god, moon god, Islam, all that kind of stuff. How that broke down back into Ashrah, right? Back into Azazel. So those were like male-female components of the same thing. So would this also be Azazel? Would Thoth also be called Azazel if that's the male counterpart of Ashrah? Right? It's always female, male, female, male. That's how that's their yin yang. That's the duality. That's how, it's all the same. It's all the same. It's all the same. Do what you want. I was born this way. Female, male, female, male. No, we know the order of it. We know the order of our earth. She's feminine. She's a womb being replenished for who? For the children. We know the moon is feminine. So we got nothing against femininity. I got a queen. I got nothing against that. But what's order? Who passes the seed? Who passes the seed, the energy? Who holds it, harnesses it, and puts it into this vortex, puts it into that vortex? You plant the seed of a tomato, no matter what the soil is, it's still a tomato. So you are the seed of your father. Okay, so for information about Ashtar, who incarnated on earth as Thoth and Hermes, and Shesharat, his stepmom, in the Galactic Fleet. And here we go, Galactic Fleet. What? That's not too far off, right? I mean, they are a fleet. They are an army. They do have ships, okay, in the galaxy, who incarnated here at Sheshet. See the galactics and da da da. Thoth and Sheshet were both depicted in ancient Egypt as scribes, recorders, inventors of letters writing, and both are associated with the concept of karma, flow of cause and effect through incarnations. Thoth was named in ancient texts as Lord of Karma. Why? In truth, he gained mastery of karma, the will of rebirth, because he kept being reborn. And he and Sheshet teach this mastery through the path of love and heart knowledge. So now you got these people coming to this esoteric stuff and saying, yeah, he's a good guy. He teaches love. Screw Thoth, Hermes. They're saying he's Hermes and Mercury, and people are like, yeah, I love him. He's a good God. He's the God of love and writing. He's great. He has order. No. He has your block hijacked. This is a fallen deity. Get out of Babylon. Cause and effect. Da 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 da. Boom 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 boom. These are all little words, sorcery, trickery to get you, to distort you, to say it's not that important to follow the laws of the Creator. They make the laws by cause and effect, the balance of the universe, the cosmic thing. When people talk like that, they are shading their own frequency, their own energy. Just give it up to the Creator, but they don't want to seem religious now, right? They're afraid to look like they're trapped in something. So out of fear, they keep running away from it. They come out of Christianity, they never turn back to get the babies. The babies are you. You have to face your fear to go get the babies, to put it in with the concrete. Then you know where you've been, because you know who you are. And you know where you're going. And can't nobody stop you when you're in order. Those that think they can stop order, dropping subliminals, how they going to stop order? They going to come to Zion. You better stay out of Zion. You have no idea what you're dealing with. This is beyond ego. So only when you humble yourself, man, make that. If you're not ready for it, stay away, because that destruction might be worse than your destruction here. I say it with a smile because I'm a fan of order. Let go. So that's number 4. All right, that's our 4th source. We're just kicking right quick. 2 more. And then we're going to get into some real cool drop from Smooth. Or actually from Hasten Is Coming first. This is from crystallinks.com. Just another source. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? They got Thoth there. This is a picture of Thoth. The Ibis, right? The crescent moon, right? Here we go. It says Thoth's other names include Tahuti, Jehudi, Tahuti, Tehudi, Zahudi, Tekhu, Tetu, Lord of Kemenu, Kemet. One of Thoth's titles is 3 times great. That's in, quotation marks. 3 times great. Okay? 3 times great. Was translated to the Greek Tris Megistos. That's what that is. Tris Megistos. Hermes Tris Megistos. 3 times great. Okay. Thoth was considered one of the more important deities of ancient pantheon, often depicted with the head of an ibis. His feminine counterpart was Sheshet. Again, they had feminine counterparts, and they're both blue. Look on the walls, you understand they're fallen angels. What color is Krishna? All right, Avatar. Okay. His feminine counterpart was Sheshet. His chief shrine was at Kemenu, which is Kemet, right? The chief shrine was at the Great Pyramid, where he led the local pantheon, later renamed Hermopolis by the Greeks in reference to him through the Greek interpretation that he was the same as Hermes and Eshmunen in Coptic. He also had shrines in Abydos, Abaddon, Apollyon, right? Abydos, Hesert, Urit, Per Ab, Rekhui, Tahu, Sep, Hat, Seliket, Talamis, Anchamutet, Ba, Amen, Herib, Ab, and Takin. You figure it out. I did my best. You pull that up yourself, man. That's where he had his other pyramids and stuff like that. Okay. All right, all right. Again, Thoth and the Eye of Ra. This is a depiction of Thoth and the Eye of Ra. So it all goes back here. And this character is the one that said he was running his ass off from the guards of the barrier that protect and don't let nobody up there near the throne, your throne of your father. He ran his ass off for the guards. He ran his ass off for the angels of the barrier, the hounds. What do you think he's going to do when that light really penetrates the firmament? Darkness scatters. The underworld scatters. But again, I'm sure he already knows. And just one more for you. This is Egypt. So remember, he's the 5th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, and that's according to Tablet 1 of the Emerald Tablets. That's when he set up shop in so-called Africa. Before that, you're in America. That is your Atlantis. Multiple islands of Atlas, the fallen angel, first son of Poseidon. Moving on. This is called cliffnotes.com. And you can check out this link. Let's see. What I want to drop in here, I don't even know, man. I just pulled this stuff up quick. All right. It says to pull up this link. Go ahead and pause that. I'll be reading it real quick. Cliff notes. The cleverest and most precocious god was Hermes. So he's the clever guy. Now, this is according to Greek mythology. We are substantiating the evidence brick by brick. The cleverest and most precocious god was Hermes. His function was related to travel for the most part as a god of the roads, of commerce, of thievery. He's the god of thievery. Didn't he steal your shit? Didn't he hijack your frequency and they stole your gold? They stole your land? Was Egypt supposed to be here? Or did Thoth set that up? The god of commerce. They set up a monetary system of commerce. Is that your system or is that the fallen angel one? Thievery. And an usher of the dead in the netherworld. Is that your god or is that a fallen angel? He was also a phallic god. You know what a phallic is, right? Phallic. Okay. And pillars with a head called herms were set up in front of Greek homes. A bunch of penises. All the phalluses and all that stuff, all the phallics. A god of intelligence. He invented the lyre. Remember, he's a god of music. He's a god of writing. Remember? Lyre. He invented the lyre, the pipes, the musical scale. Which musical scale did he? They're giving him credit for this again. Does he deserve credit for the drop that he already had passed down from what they knew when they were above the firmament? Remember, they were fallen, so they got dropped from up there and started teaching the people out of order down here. It's not always about the information being wrong or demonic. It's just that that's the vibration put on it. So by the time you get it, that's going to be the result. Until you come back to order, you can see the real mysteries, the real Enoch, the real secrets. But these secrets will be taught to you in order once you graduate. You ain't ready for them. You think you are? Look at what we're doing. You think you're ready? You think you're responsible for the highest secrets? Or do you need to cleanse yourself first? Fast. Go into the wilderness. Get that stink off you. Get that city, that 440 vibration off of you. Now it says the god of intelligence, he invented the lyre, the pipes, the musical scale. Again, there's other musical scales, right? All right, is he on yours? Or did he invent his own? Is he intelligent? A god of intelligence. Oh, he's intelligent. A god of intelligence, he invented the lyre, the pipes, the musical scale, astronomy. The study of these stars, right? Did he create the fixed stars that rotate around that North Pole axis? That Polaris star that's magnetically connected to the North Pole? It's been there for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. The same star. Oh, I'm sorry, you're spinning on a ball traveling 67,000 miles per hour. Of course, you see the same stars your ancestors did because you're spinning on a ball at 1,000 miles per hour, traveling 67,000 miles per hour, traveling a sun at over 500,000 miles per hour in the Milky Way galaxy going 2.5 million miles per hour. Of course, you see the same stars your ancestors saw over 10,000 years ago. Of course, there's the same North Pole, same North Star. Of course, that makes sense when you're spinning on a ball of water at 1,000 miles per hour, traveling 67,000 miles per hour, chasing a sun, right? A Helios sun at over 500,000 miles per hour in the Milky Way galaxy. They say it's going 2.5 million. I'm not making this up. That's their mathematics, but they twisted math. They twisted science. They twisted music and scales. They twisted astronomy, weights and measures, boxing, gymnastics, and the care of olive trees. They give them credit for boxing. Like they don't box above the firmament. Like they don't scrap above the firmament. Man, this is sick stuff, right? So y'all go ahead and deal with it. Very interesting that it says, the next line says, immediately after he was born, he went out and killed a tortoise. From its shell, Hermes created the lyre. Now, don't they call these turtle islands? Right? You got the Florida leg and another leg over there, and they said it's the shape of a turtle shell. The first thing he does is kill a turtle. Do you get it? He came here to the land of turtles, the land of the turtle, and the first thing he did when he was born is kill a tortoise, and from its shell create the lyre, and with it he lulled his mother Maya to sleep. They call his mother Maya, M-A-I-A. Is that where they're getting Maya from? Remember, we didn't call ourselves Maya, but according to the island, that little area that was sunk in Atlantis, that was Poseidon's joint, right? Thoth is probably the grandson of Poseidon, right? Very interesting stuff. I'm sure someone's put much more together than I got. Again, this is only the first day for me. You probably had a whole week to mull this over, so I love you. You're already ahead. Thank you for that. From its shell, Hermes created the lyre, and with it he lulled his mother Maya to sleep, which left him free to do as he pleased. Before long, he came across a splendid herd of cattle that belonged to Apollo. So he promptly stole the herd and disguised the tracks so that no one can trace him. When Apollo discovered his loss, he went out searching in all directions for the stolen cattle. He even posted a reward. What? Look, I can't substantiate this. This is just, I'm just looking for the babies. And here's some mythology around this Thoth, but you see where the things line up that aren't moving. You see the moving pieces that aren't moving. You see the parts that seem to be staying concrete, no matter what source we bring into, that this is a fallen angel. All right, so you read the rest. And lastly, we talked about Peleg. We brought out Genesis 10. In the days of Peleg, where the earth divided. This is a extra biblical source outside the Bible, outside the Biblios, the collection of writings that also talks about Peleg. This is called, this is from what we were dropping before. So we're going to get back. We're going to drop chapter 2 of this. The American nations, or outlines of their general history, ancient and modern, that whole joint. So let's go to, I guess it's page 34. It's page 34. You pull it up. Oh, almost fumbleitis. All right, it's going to look something like that. You pull it up. You're going to see that Peleg. You see that Peleg? It's already highlighted for you. It's already been searched for. Now check this out. How does Peleg, the earth being divided in Genesis 10, come together with this Greek mythology, this Thoth, these emerald tablets, all these other sources? How do they all come to one understanding? Before the deluge, same as the Oriental War, what they call the Orientals, right? Black people. Of the giants and sons of God, right? Of the giants and sons of who? God. The Alatas and Titans of Phoenicia. Alatas, is that anything to do with Atlantis? Alatas. War of gods of India. Alright, so it says, before the deluge, same as the Oriental war of the giants and the sons of God, the Atlantis and Titans, basically, of Phoenicia, it says war of gods in India. So before that, it says, between the two floods, the first Mahabharat of India, after the last flood of Peleg. I pulled it up. I'm just now really reading it, so I'm putting this together with you. They saying there's two floods. You look it up. But there were more than one flood, right? Some of us are coming to the same information. After the last flood of Peleg, so the first flood was of Mahabharat of India. All right, so whatever that is, those could be the other gods that were sunk. Maybe they had their own. Look, the Most High, look, it doesn't even have to be two different floods at two different times. It could just be two different regions that they're talking about the flood. The Most High could have flooded multiple regions simultaneously. But let's look at if they're trying to just, maybe he's talking about a timeline that we can try to follow. So he's saying after the last flood of Peleg, the second Mahabharat, when the Titanides of Atlantis, so the Titans or the Atlantis or the Titans and Cyclopses ruled for 500 years or 16 generations. You research it. I'm just pulling out some more drop. Please research it. Let me know what you find. After the two floods, the first of Mahabharat of India, after the last flood of Peleg, the second Mahabharat. There we go. Oh, Dr. Ritz. All right. Mahabharat, when the Titanides or the Atlantis, when the Atlanteans and the Cyclopses ruled for 500 years, 16 generations, many of the facts and events of those three wars have been blended. Syncretism. Here we go. It is probable that the great Titanic dynasty was between Noah and Peleg. So between Noah and Peleg was the great Titanic dynasty, which would make Noah, right? Again, 8 people come out of this boat, they populate everything. Does it make sense from a man's perspective, or were these, dang near angels? I mean, they were living 900 years and all this kind of stuff, right? Or something like that. So, but you have order, you have chaos. So we have the energy of above the firmament. Does that mean we're men, or are we gods amongst men? Are we two angels? Are we, us two, you and me, are we all in this frequency? If we, and I propose we are, the seed of the Creator. I mean, it's not my son, me. It's not my vibration, his vibration. And if you're his heritage, Amos 3, Joel 3, Isaiah, 45, 43, all over the place, right? Second address, if this world was not created for your sakes, why do you not have an inheritance on the earth? Because they took it. So is it being restored? Yes, it is. Are you a God amongst men? Yes, because your father is. If your father is hey, you are hey. But you have to return to your order to have your inheritance, to have your power back, to be reconnected. You cannot boast above the root. You cannot boast above the source. You have to serve it. Just like you serve your house and make it better. You serve this house and make it better. Let go. So he's saying it's probable that the great Titanic dynasty was between Noah and Peleg in the timeline, and that the division of the earth at Peleg applies also to the division of the Titanic empire after Jupiter. So that division, he's saying, applies to that same division that happened with the Titanic dynasty that he's putting between Noah and Peleg. So now we're saying that the flood of Atlantis is the flood in the scripture. And that the earth being divided happened at the same time that cataclysm happened. And I'm even saying that all these multiple flood stuff, I mean, maybe you did keep flooding the earth. And then, who knows? I can't say there's only one flood. I'm just saying that maybe that's different perspectives of the same story. But if they're putting it in the timeline way, then maybe they're saying that there was a flood before that. Most High destroyed angels before that, and before that, and before that. Look at what he's done just to keep you there. Remember, he didn't destroy Peru. He didn't destroy you in Mexico. When Columbus finally got over here, man, his soldiers thought they were living in a dream. They knew they were in Eden and all these other places that they thought were fables. They didn't know who you were. They thought they were in a dream, but they did know that that gold looked good, that land is good, and they had to stay, which means getting rid of you. But they had beef with you even before you knew anything was coming. Way before the earth was divided in days of Peleg, you were here. And they had beef with you then too. Only because you got out of order. You see, these energies don't have no beef with you when you're in order. But when you're out of order, that's the case. Remember, we were thriving and surviving, man, when we were in order. Solomon, David, even all the jam ups that was happening then, even all the mistakes they was making, even when they found us here in the 1500s, 1600s, 1700s, 1800s, we were still living in sort of a paradise to these people. We had to teach them how to farm? Who and where do you come from when you don't even know how to farm? The sea. Mercenaries of the sea. With no inheritance and no land. No Europe, no Spain, no Portugal. Sea people. Who lost their land a long time ago. It's beneath the ocean. So they judge you on sea law, admiralty law, maritime sea law, because they're people of the sea. We're almost out of here. We're doing good. All right, so the earth, one more time. Okay, so this person is proposing, and the American nations are outlines of the general history, ancient and modern, so on, that this particular flood, since many other facts and events of those three wars have been blended, it is probable that the great Titanic dynasty was between Noah and Peleg, those two ancestors there, and that the division of the earth at Peleg applies also to the division of the Titanic Empire, which is the Atlantean Empire. Remember, they call Titanic, Atlantean the same thing. He says the last flood of Peleg, or the second Mahabharat, when the Titanides or Atlantides, right? So it's interchangeable. Titan is Atlantis. So he's saying during the end of the Atlantean Empire, after Jupiter. After Jupiter. That's just what it said. Applies also to the division of the Titanic or Atlantis, the flood, after Jupiter. Jupiter. We just talked about Jupiter. It keeps coming up. I'm not doing it. Isus. Jupiter is the son of Saturn, the son of Satan, the sun, the peacock, the feathered serpent. All right? This is true. And you can read on with that. There's a lot of drop in there that will also help you tie this stuff together. All right, man. That's our drop, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to hopefully end with this. And I'll do a part 6 just for smooth and some other stuff I want to drop. I don't know how much time I got. I don't have that much space left on my phone, man. I've been doing a lot of recording, so hopefully we have enough for these 9 minutes. I'll try to stay out of it until the very end, and you'll see why. But love to y'all, man. Let's see. Let's rock it. Let's do it. This is part 5 of whatever I'm going to title this thing. I love you all, or else I wouldn't be out here for 8 hours. Trill spill. Let's go. 9 minutes. Dismount. And then we'll shout out and see what the homies are saying. Alright, let go.
The people that you call Indians in the Americas, these lands that were called the Americas, they had different names before that. They had Hebrew names. The people that lived here and they still live here today are Israelites, man. Pursuant to 2nd Ezra 13 and 39 on down. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
Well, I got a quick precept just about the land.
All right.
Yeah,
and you know, you can tell by our people's spirit all day, man, of the different tribes.
And kings to these brothers, man. They out there, man. They visiting these places. They letting you see it. They giving you some drop. So I love these guys, man. I love these brothers. I love these kings, and you can tell that Ruach is in them. And we're all, you know what I'm saying, trying to, gather these things, man, drop by drop. So let's be patient with each other, and I appreciate the drop that these brothers continue to drop. Definitely check out Haston. He is coming, and they are in Santo Domingo, I believe. They are in the Dominican Republic.
You know the Israelites, man. Well, first of all, what does the name Jacob mean? Jacob is from the Hebrew word Yahweh, which means supplanter. Jake want to get over on you all day, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, they have the art of hustle on Nip Tuck, man.
They know how to manipulate the sciences, as Polite would say.
Manipulate white boys over here.
Yeah.
Genesis 49:5. Simeon and Levi are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitation.
Right, and that's who live on this island, man. Simeon and Levi. All right, you so-called Dominicans. All right, you people that call yourself Dominicans, you're the tribe of Simeon, according to the Bible, okay? And you people that call yourselves Haitians, you're the tribe of Levi. Right?
Now, you know what I'm saying? Let the brothers drop it. I'm always looking for the babies. I always got my own, you know what I'm saying, conclusions based on different things. And again, it's not really a conclusion. It's just a running theory, hypothesis. But again, we're talking about Haiti, Dominican Republic. This is America. So don't separate that from the Western Hemisphere. Columbus thought when he landed here, he caught this Atlantis too. Atlantis is many islands. Before the earth was divided in the days of Peleg, it was all together, right? So this is still